All right, welcome everybody to our Monday night empowerment session. And we're doing something that we like to do periodically, which is talking about the soul business opportunity and seeing how different people actually ended up kind of ending up in doing the soul business. It's not always what people expect. I mean, people know my background, and I've been in, have had a health food store and herb shop. We actually went to a point where we had health food for a while, and been in the industry for a long time. So it really comes as no surprise for me that I'm in this business. But what is interesting is how many people actually start helping people before they realize what they're doing to help people. And the reason I know this so well is how many times people start feeling better. And so their family or their friends start noticing, and then they ask them, what are you doing? And they would tell them, they'll say, well, you need to go see this gal who shared this with me. She can hook you up. And pretty soon I've got this whole list of people that I have ended up getting connected with the soul products. And it's all because of the referrals are happening because people are feeling better. So usually what I'll do is I'll reach out to that person and say, hey, you're really doing a lot of helping people and noticing that people might think or feel better with like Cinnamate or Adaptable. Have you considered upgrading to a specialist? It's a simple process. It's very inexpensive, all of $75. And then you too can be helping these people. And it's so easy. And they're usually blown away because they don't think that it's going to be as easy to do as in actuality that it becomes. And that's one of the things that I like to do is share and show the simplicity of the Solle Naturals products and how we can trust in it and how you don't have to have all these degrees and acronyms and initials after your name to make a difference in people's lives. And as I'm looking around here, I do see a couple of people that was some of the ways that they got started in helping people making a difference. Or the other thing that one of the other common things that have had happened we would hold a happy hour. And as the person, we were wrapping things up or getting finished, I would say, look, you've got all these people here that you invited that have now placed orders. Would you be interested in maybe making some commission off of their purchases? And that's one of the things I'm going to have Greg talking about here in a little bit, is sharing about how that works. And, sometimes people will do it, sometimes people don't. But, it's kind of nice to be able to get that little bit of extra money in to help cover and pay for your product. So again, lots of times people are doing the business before they are aware that they're doing the business. So one of the people that I asked to share a little bit about their how they got into doing the soul business opportunity is Miss Ashley Brannon. Miss Ashley, could I get you to go ahead and take some time and share with us?
Hi, Val.
Hi, lady.
Yes. Wow. So my soul journey started when I just needed a little extra energy, and Cinnamate was shared with me, like simply just a packet of Cinnamate. This helped me and it might help you. And from there on, I started feeling better and I wanted to share it with my family. So I did that, and then friends. I had one of my first healthy hours, which I was so honored to have you at, Val. And I just didn't even know what I was doing, but I knew something would help me. And I wanted to share it with people that I cared about and loved. And so that takes me to the next thing, which is, we all have, I was on a beach walk. I just moved to the beach and can run my soul business from the beach, which I'm so grateful for. And I found a piece of a sand dollar. And when you break a sand dollar open, there are 5 of these like angel looking or shark tooth looking things in it, which I didn't know until recently. But it reminds me of there's all a seed of greatness within us. And sometimes it just takes some people around us or someone who believes in us to nurture it a little bit. And that's what I experienced through my dear mentor. And I've experienced that through Val and many of people on this call. So that brings me to just sharing our vision for our life on top of these products can really make an impact in people's lives. And for me, it's helped me with self-confidence, showing up for myself, showing up for those people that I care about, like for my family. Like I'm just a better person overall. And connections. And, we can really make this business what we want as far as on a pay scale, but it's really up to us. So I just want to say thank you, Greg, for sharing your vision. Thank you, Valerie, for sharing your vision for these Monday night calls and inviting us to to the calls to be together. And I love sharing my vision, and I'm excited to hear about everybody's vision on this call and to see who else will be joining in our visions and at our table going forward. And I could literally keep talking, but I'm just going to stop there.
Well, Ashley, I do have one question for you.
Okay.
Cinemate is what you got started on, but have you picked kind of a theme and how you are focusing your business? Because I know what I see you do a lot of, but a lot of people may not be aware of that.
Yes. So my focus is really helping people with a cleanse and detox. And I'm doing that throughout a 30-day period. Especially from like friends in my age group, let's just say 35 to 45. I see a lot of just kind of like maybe a little light that could be dimmed within people. And that's where my passion is waking up that light within men and women. And so the cleanse, also like adrenal fatigue, just tired and stress and all the things. But I can say sticking to this focus of the cleanse and detox and presenting that has helped the process and the whole systems and everything flow a lot simpler and easier for me, clients, and new specialists coming on board. And I love to do it myself. So we do it together. Yeah.
That's awesome. And often we tend to share what has had a big impact in our life. So it sounds like the detox had an impact in your health.
Yes. And it does every single time I do it. And it just, that's what's so brilliant about these combinations is we have a strong foundation, but life is always kind of teeter-tottering. And the cleanse is always a different experience for me, which is just fascinating. So it's always like a project, like a fun experience to share. So
very cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I love seeing your spark come out. And that's one of the things that I find when people are excited and passionate about the change they've seen in themselves and wanting to help others be able to see that transfers over. And it's very obvious with you. So thank you, my friend. All right, Miss Tammy Peterson. It's right at 10 in. Are you ready to go?
I am. Thank you for having me. I loved hearing what Ashley said. I feel like me and Ashley have been around about the same amount of time. So when I started, I was just such an emotional basket case. And when I started taking Soul, and my mentor, Michelle, was going to come into town. And she's like, you really need to do this for business. I'm like, nope, not doing it. And she says, come on, just one meeting. I'm like, okay. And then it was like, oh, by the way, we have a founder coming. I was like, what? So then, I kicked it into high gear and I called everybody I knew, and I'm a hairdresser. So people had heard my journey of being an emotional basket case, of Candida was kind of my issue. And I had to find answers myself. So Lon came, and then Greg came, and then Jordan came, and then even Blake. I had everybody come because what happened is people were getting such amazing results on huge things, and here I was scared because no one had heard of Solle Naturals before. It was 1 year old, how am I going to spread the word for Solle Naturals? And it just blew up because people were just getting help that they did not know where to find it. So when that happened, then it just naturally turned into this business that I didn't even see coming. And I will say that the privilege that I got, that people are just going to have to take our word on, me and Ashley and all of us that were here in the beginning, was that when these founders came to our homes, we became friends. So when I share Donna's story, or when I talk about Lon or Jordan, or, you know, even as far as that goes, you and Chris, we've all traveled together since the beginning almost. They came and they did so much for us, and it showed me the heart of a company. And I had been with other companies, so I knew that this company wasn't just about money. I was not interested in that. And from the beginning, the way they instructed us was help people. You're not selling, you're sharing. And that resonated with me. And, you know, from the beginning, from the bottom of my heart, I had all these people were desperate, and we're still looking for things because the internet wasn't great. And, you know, in my case, a lot of people were still skeptical about herbs, you know, so I felt like we were trying to convince people, but when people felt good, it just blew up. And so to this day, what drives me more than the money, which now it's turned into amazing business, and I needed that. It happened this past year, just when I needed it the most. But what drives me is helping people. And I feel like if you go into a business with that as your goal, as opposed to how much money is this going to make me, then the rest just falls into place because your heart's in the right place. And I saw that with the founders. And so that's what they were interested, like they really wanted to help people. You know, Greg's wife got all this emotional support, and they just wanted to help other people get it. And so like Ashley goes from the place of detoxing, which is amazing because I've never, you know, been good at that. Mine, I'm always, to me, trying to help people on the emotional side, because I felt desperate, because I could not find answers. I felt hopeless. And when Michelle called me that day, and that day I was sitting in a chair, and I had been sitting in that chair crying for 2 weeks. That was the first time that I saw light at the end of the rainbow. And for me, by week 1, I got help. So I really like to share that. And so to me, it's a business because I make great money, but it's also a way to do what I enjoy most, and that's helping people. And I feel like that's what Soul is about, honestly. I wouldn't have stuck around if it wasn't, for sure, because I'm not interested in the other rah, this is how much money if you get this many people under you. So anyway, that's a lot of words, but it is near and dear to my heart.
And I love that, you too. And this is what I find in everyone. We don't want people to end up in the spots or the spaces that we are, so that we've been. So we can identify it very quickly, and we know what helped us, and we want to be able to help them. So with your approach for working with getting the emotional components in front of people and helping them, what type of way do you are you primarily using right now to let people know that you're using Solle Naturals and you're a distributor?
I'm on social media quite a bit, which was very intimidating. But I think of any gift I've been given, I'm not good at a ton of things. Like I can't play anything, I can't do much, but I can talk. So, you know, I think that just getting on there and just sharing your heart with people. So that's what I've been doing on social media. I started a marketplace, and I have made amazing friends. And just this last week, 2 people reached out and said, and both these people are not doing a ton of things. They're not doing like 20 products, because with both of them, I was like, wow, their doctors were like, what are you doing? Your numbers are amazing. Keep doing it. So, being able to find people. And when we started here in Houston, I know Ashley probably feels the same way. It was like 3 of us in Texas. We're like, how are we going to get the word out? Well, through social media, I have got clients, you name it, from Hawaii to the Northeast coast. I've even got a client in Scotland. So social media has been a platform for me, markets and lives, Instagram, to really reach a ton of people. And I feel like that's been such a success.
Very cool. And again, I love how people each, and we've got a couple of us that are sharing tonight, but we've each done it different ways. Yet it's been successful in helping people to feel better. And in the end result of being able to help people, as many of you have heard, that initial story I had whenever I recognized with Greg what was being brought to the table here, where he told me, you take care of the people and we'll take care of you. And that's exactly what I'm seeing happen with you ladies too. You're helping take care of the people and you're being taken care of financially as well. All right. So I asked Greg if he could share some about the Soul Quick and High Five. Where did he go? Oh, there you are. So when you turn on your screen, you move to a different place. So I couldn't keep up with you. So Greg, I would love it if you would take time and do that. Would you like me to share the screen with you?
Yeah, if you could make me a co-host or something, I'll share screen.
That's what I meant. I don't know why I said the other.
Well, that's the same thing. It's just another way of sharing it. And I just appreciate listening to everybody else too. It's been neat to listen to how you do it, and to be able to, I don't know, just be part of that same journey together. It's been a lot of wonderful experiences, and the kind of thing that we just all want to be part of. Let me just share my screen. I'll go to the opportunity page because I kind of want to share it within the context of a little bit of what kind of the way Ashley and Tammy talk about the business too. It very much is the structure very much is designed with a service mentality in mind, like people that, that this belief that if I serve people well, then I have a lifelong business. And if I really enjoy that and I need to make more money in my business, or I want to, I just need to put my mind to how do I serve more people well? How do I organize that? How do I structure it so that, it's never I anyway, it's always we in a business like this. How do we serve people? I've heard people say that before, and I love that. It's not a matter of, I don't know, finding more people. I know that's part of the reality, but it's a matter of serving more people and how we can structure ourselves to do that. And we had all those thoughts in mind with this compensation plan. And I don't know if you've ever heard us say this way, but these colors on the chart, I don't know if you can see my screen. They're not random. I mean, the yellow section or the red section actually is the lifting section. The yellow is the clarifying section. And the green is the balancing. Did anybody ever notice that on the chart? And I'll tell you why, because the way commissions are structured, they can be set up in a way that actually incentivizes away from what's best for a person's business in a company. That's possible. You pick a structure, you structure it a certain way, and as a business evolves and progresses, and as commissions are paid, it can be designed where you make more if you don't do sort of the most needful things right now, but you do other things to make yourself make more. In other words, that you're in conflict with the service that needs to happen. So us designing it, the green section is about balancing the way the commissions are paid so that they match up with where the greatest needs are. And that's why you see the green section paying the levels, like the generations of people in your organization. That's why it's designed that way, because it, in a nutshell, it simply matches higher commissions where you have more activity, because that's where you tend to be more involved in, where the need tends to be greatest. the service and the training and the education and those things that we all love to do. So we simply in the green, we try to balance out your commissions with where your time spent. That's a simple way of looking at it. The yellow, it clarifies where those commissions get paid and when they start. And you can see different types of commissions there. And they simply expand as your team grows. I mean, you can look at them and you can try to like figure out the steps, or you can just sort of do what Tammy said, and you help people and know that the plan is designed so that as you're developing, different things kick in and are added to your business system, different benefits. And one of them that Valerie asked me to talk about that is right on the subject that I'm mentioning today is this one that you see that says high five by it with an exclamation point. High five came about because we wanted to give something extra, like just to congratulate every month. One way of doing that is giving someone a high five. So we kind of liked that imagery. And in this case, it's actually 5%. So that's what the high five is. Now it starts early. It starts at a lower level than that because we wanted people to get a feel for what it feels like to get a high five in their business commission earlier, even before they're getting that full high five. So, you can see with a high five starts at a +2 and builds up to a +5. So you start with, I guess, 2 fingers of your high five, and then you get 3 fingers and then 4 fingers, then you get the whole hand. But really, you're still getting a high five, congratulations. And honestly, there's a double meaning there because the other part is wherever your activity and your education and your service is the highest, where there's more OV, that tends to match up over time. Over time, that tends to balance itself that way. That's where you're going to get paid the highest percentages in Solle's plan. Therefore, if we were going to give a high five and give it additional percentage, we wanted it to be there. We wanted it to be where you were and your team were spending the most of your time. So that's what the high five is. A simple way of understanding it is, it's an extra additional percentage added onto your highest activity level. And it just looks at it every single month because things can change. Typically, our businesses settle in where you'll have a typical level that will be your highest level. But it can change over time as a light bulb turns on in someone and they just really want to lead out, change lives, and they can suddenly, bring a lot of activity to a different level and even to exceed where your biggest level is. In that case, you don't have to worry because the high five always goes wherever the highest activity is. Another way of putting that is when the commissions are run, all the OV is looked at and all the activity is logged in there and it's set or locked is the term we use at the end of the month. And then the computer program simply looks at it, that looks at all your levels and says, okay, which was the one where Valerie had the most activity? Oh, it was her third. Okay, then looking over on this green side, then the highest commission percentage that is paid on a generation, we're going to put on her third. She'll get 10%. It's matched up to the most activity because that's where Valerie's mentoring. That's where she's serving people. And then we then look, the system looks at Valerie's rank. So like Valerie's current rank is right here, Solle Elite 75K. And so we just come on over on the chart to the high five column and she gets the full 5-finger high five. So we add another 5% to the 10, so she gets 15%. So the high five, once you get to the level of Solle Pro 2K, you can see you're starting to get that high five bonus. It starts at 2%. And then as you progress in the ranks, and that happens naturally, as you do things, the kinds of things that you hear shared here in this webinar and other webinars, have a system, have a structure, a way to help people be doing it consistently. It will inevitably grow and expand, and then your high five expands. So that's the high five. I know that's kind of a long explanation on it. I hope that was understandable. My colors I alluded to. The red, of course, is lifting, right? So of course we had to put the ranks in here because you're lifting other people in their health and in their understanding of a business that they can own. And so as your rank progresses and it lifts upward, then you can see you qualify for more benefits. So that's really why I don't know if anybody really thought about that. It's just a fun little aside. That's why it's red, this area. And of course, we've got the Soul colors. Notice the blue. The blue's over there with the Soul Pros. Soul Pros are, we wanted that first rank to be something that nobody should, could, or would have to stress about. It's just a good place. It's something that everyone can do if they're connected in to teams like this. Everyone who has a desire to help others can do that rank, and that's kind of where we use the blue color. Anyway, so the last thing that Valerie asked me to talk about was the Soul Quit. And if I show you on that particular, I'm jumping back on our page. This is just from our website. And if I go to the Soul Quit chart, that's simply the weekly bonus that you receive for first-time orders. So a new member, any first-time order, either is going to be a member or a specialist. Either way, that very first order merits a special bonus because we're never introducing just individuals to Soul. We're introducing them and all of their contacts who have needs, who have the same problems. Like Valerie said, when we've been through a few of them ourselves, we recognize them more quickly in others, and we also know how to do something about it. We know how to give them information that they can then take and make a change. So there's a lot more work up front with that. And then so I'm just explaining our viewpoint and our philosophy is that there would always be a special commission for that first order, which takes all that heart to share. Like Tammy said, you have to be willing to talk. It's, you have to say something or do something or write something so that someone else can have what you have. And that's why the special bonus is there. You notice that there's something there for you. The person who is directly mentoring, sharing, receives either the 30% if it's a member or the 45% if it's specialist. And then their upline and above them, 2 other people in the chain also get a piece of this commission because we want to incentivize group support. We want to incentivize helping one another, never having anyone feel like they're alone. Oh, it's my own thing, It is true, you can mark out your own path, but we don't want you to feel like you have to do all the work alone ever. And that's why the bonus is this particular bonus, even though it's specially for just you, as you reach out to someone, there is a section tied into leaders, because we hope that people always feel from the day they join the Soul family going forward, that they feel support. And that, as leaders, I know this, each of the leaders that I've heard on here tonight and other leaders feel a responsibility to be able to help and show whatever they've learned, whatever's helped them to, anyone on their team that has interest. And so that commission is definitely well earned. And those who are successful are all doing that in different ways. All right, Valerie, back to you. I hope that was what you wanted there.
That was perfect. Thank you very much. I think if we give this in little bits and pieces that people can wrap their brain around it better too. So at this point, I'd like to open up for any questions that anybody might have, or if anyone wanted to share for themselves how they got into helping people with a Soul or a testimony, or, let's open it up and share away, please. And we always learn so much from hearing from each other. Rachel, please.
So I think it's kind of a natural progression, because whenever you start taking Soul and you fall in love with Soul, you just naturally want to share Soul. And so I don't think of myself as a good salesperson, but I also like to talk, and I'm not great with the videos like Tammy. I'm not there yet, but I do like to talk to anyone who asks me about Soul, because how much it's helped me. And so it just seemed natural, because at first I didn't want to sell it either, but then I liked it so much. And then I was like, yeah, I need to have a happy hour at my house and invite my friends over and tell them about this. And And then I also like that once you're a soul specialist, you're always a soul specialist. And there's not like a quota you have to meet. There's no pressure. It's like the easiest job ever, in my opinion, because it's the products sell themselves, the people, the company sells itself. I don't have to do a bunch of extra trying to sell it. You know what I mean? So um I'm just, and then all the founders are so giving and generous with their time and their knowledge, and I've learned so much. And then people like you, everybody is so they make you feel like you're, part of the soul family. And so I just love the atmosphere. It's just so warm and loving and encouraging and motivating. So thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was perfect. And I'm glad you brought up that point that once you're a specialist, you're always a specialist. I think that's really important for people to be aware of that. And the fact that it's not expensive to become a specialist. It's a whole lot less expensive than it ever was for any other business that we ever started in our life. That's for sure. It's very, very affordable, very easy to do. Who else would like to share or has a question? Mignon, do you mind sharing why you adding the Soul Naturals products into your practice?
Well, hello, Valerie. Thank you so much for calling on me. Well, I guess I had a unique perspective in that even before Soul became Soul, I had an introduction. I remember having phone calls in Cynthia's car with Greg about when's the pack coming? We tasted it and we did it. It was just such a wonderful beginning and experience. And I don't know, it was such a great thing coming from where we came from, and then with the different approach herbally to see the changes that were happening for people. So I guess I fell into it naturally because I was so immersed in those early times. Enjoyed every second of it, so
It's been neat to see how much has progressed, hasn't it?
yeah. So I just looked at my calendar, but it was just a great experience and then having used just the straight herbal approach like we had before, and then using the mind body approach and experiencing that with not only myself, but my family and my clients. It was easy to enjoy the process more. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, dear. Thank you for letting me put you on the spot.
Anytime, Val.
And we have a hand raised over here for a phone number. So
yes, my name is Teresa Valerie. I guess you could call me a newbie. I have really appreciated the product. It's good. I appreciate it's a good product. And I've been taking Excel, the Megas, and different other little things, and it's just good. I just wish I had known about this 50 million years ago. It's a good product.
I am so glad that you're happy with it and it's having that big of an impact with you. And I love that is such a common theme that we hear with people, and it just makes me more excited to share with more people because that's the general consensus and you're just reaffirming that. So thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything they wanted to share or ask questions about? Before we wrap it up here. All right, I actually did record this one this time.